the groups that separated share the language faculty. As far as we know, they're all the same, which means that language developed in that brief window between the emergence of Homo sapiens and the beginning of their separation into diverse groups. It was a very small group. If that's the case, then the emergence of the human capacity was almost instantaneous in evolutionary time.
Okay, I have another question before I let somebody else ask a question here. This one is also from Friction, and it says, do you think that the relevant capacities for language became prevalent in humans because of their relevance to language and communication directly, or was it some other reason? Example, Gracia, recursive thinking and problem solving.
That's an interesting question. From classical Greece, classical India, 2,500 years ago, up until the 20th century, it was assumed that language is basically associated with thought. Language generates thought. Thought is what is generated by language. They're basically indistinguishable. 20th century underwent several changes. One was the behaviorist revolution. Other was structuralism. It was radical change. And at that point, and the tradition was totally forgotten, but at this point, instrumental questions were raised. Was language developed for the need of communication? Is communication the fundamental, sort of essential property of language? Actually, I think the tradition was correct. Language it's not even an instrument of thought. It creates thought. It's the system of thought. It's used for communication. Everything we do is used for communication.
Hey, hello.
Hey, you okay?
Hey, what happened to the AMA?
All sorts of things.
It's still happening, but you have to join on Zoom.
Communication is for them.
Can you see the general chat?
Fundamental line of language.
You can just click that link.
Its structure is such that questions of communicative efficiency simply don't arise. There are many cases where there are conflicts between communicative efficiency and computational efficiency, meaning just finding the most elegant solution to the problem of recursive enumeration of thoughts. Invariably, without exception, communicative efficiency is discarded. So it seems just a modern prejudice that communication is the essential feature of language. There was no things. Notice that things don't evolve for reasons. That's a mistake. They just evolve. If they have served some function, they stay. So think about evolution for a minute. I mean, evolution basically we can break it into three stages. First stage is some disruption takes place in the existing system. Could be a mutation, could be gene transfer, could be symbiosis. A bacterium swallows another microorganism. It's what the major factor that led to complex cells, some disruption or other. Second stage of evolution is that nature finds the simplest solution to the simplest way of dealing with the
Nirvana, can you hear me?
That arose. That's the second step. Third step of evolution is winnowing.